Thanks for checking out another clip of the Cashflow Contractor. We'd love to have you as a part of our audience. Click subscribe wherever you get your podcast.
A long phone call yesterday. This is a good client who is trying to track his costs and understand what's going on in his business and is doing that. But what happened is something I find a lot, and that's people bid appropriately, or they think they are. They take their costs and divide by 0.6 to get a 40% margin. And then they go do the job and they write down the actual hours and the actual material, concrete. And this is a concrete guy. He'll listen to this. The actual rebar and some permits and things that go into that job, and he'll be spot on. In other words, he bid the costs exactly what they were. But when he got through entering it in QuickBooks, that 40% margin could become a 20% margin. Mm-hmm. And we talk about that a lot, you and I, and we have in the past. Is that where management comes in and go, why is that? Yeah. And that's exactly what happened here. It was driving him crazy. He said, why wouldn't it show up the same? And it turns out that there were a lot of expenses that are variable expenses, but they're not easily attributed to one job.
Can you give me an example?
Yeah, the fuel in the trucks that the guys drive, right? If they do 3 jobs a week, right? Are you going to go out there and split the tank 3 ways, if presuming you can make it all week? Job materials, things like plastic and, in this case, plastic and lumber and stakes and things that are used in concrete finishing and forming.
Right.
And
so why would those not be applied to the job?
Well, you're going to go, again, you buy bundles of stakes. Maybe you buy 150 stakes, you know, which sounds like a pretty small one, but they all add up. Another one in this instance was rental equipment. He rents equipment by the month. It's just a way to rent instead of own. And so you say, well, that's a fixed expense. Say, well, no, you could argue that, but I don't. It's a variable expense, but it's not attributed to this job or that job. So
would that be the same? So what would you do though if you owned the equipment and you were paying a,
I would. It would be an overhead.
So you would put on overhead, but because you're renting it,
because you own it, and it is in fact a bill that you're going to have in perpetuity for as long as you need to own it. So,
but what if it was a lease that you were obliged to pay?
I would have it in overhead.
You'd have it in overhead, but because it's a rental month to month.
Yeah. Okay. Sometimes it's a rental month to month. Sometimes it's not.
Okay.
And you can argue that square or round.
Sure.
Right. That's where I come down. It's a piece of equipment that's needed for the job that is not a standard monthly cost, or can easily be not a cost. Mm-hmm. So that's where we put it. So that's where it was located. So that's why that, and there were some other things. Disposal, that could be an overhead if you had some, or it could be attributed to a job, not as an overhead, but could be attributed to the job if you knew that load came from this job. That's not what happens. They accumulate full loads before they go take them to where they're disposed. Mm-hmm. So that doesn't, none of those things sound maybe really huge. Water, things like that the guys drink.
Yeah.
But when we added them all up, they were 7%.
Ooh. Okay.
Now that will take a 41% margin down to a 33% margin real quickly.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's okay. He doesn't have to change things. He doesn't have to. It would drive him crazy to distribute a half load of dirt to this place and a half load to that place, or just to keep track of all that. So go ahead and put it in variable costs. But when he's bidding, he has to have a 7%, that's what we've done, add to his cost.
Thanks for checking out a clip from the Cashflow Contractor. We have full episodes where we go deep on topics that help you grow a construction business that runs without you, so you can have less stress, more time, more money. Now, we've got other videos, other clips, but if you want to check out the full episode for this clip, you can click wherever our editor put it. It might be here, it might be there, it might be over my face, I don't know. But thank you for checking us out. We'd love to have you as a part of our audience. So subscribe or check out a full episode wherever you get podcasts.